Welcome to the Scene Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Scene Podcast. I'm your silly little host, Justin Borak, and thank you so much for listening. If you're wondering who we are or what this is, The Scene is a brilliant, huge, fancy newsletter that probably everyone in the theater world reads, and I am so proud that they said they wanted to make something for people who like to hear things. So this is The Scene newsletter, but made by me and my friend KJ. KJ, say hi.
Happy New Year, Justin. Excited to kick off 2024 with a little bit of feminist plays for your ear holes.
Yeah, and it's made for your ear holes instead of your eye holes. That didn't make a lot of sense. This is a podcast. It's a podcast version of The Scene. We have all your favorites. We have shows you should know. We have theater in a minute. We have a bunch of fun rotating segments that you'll find out later on the episode. But look, I've been talking too long already. So let's just get to the friggin' podcast. That's right, KJ. Let's get to the first segment of the Scene Podcast. Woo!
Shows you should know.
Thank you, KJ. Welcome to a special segment of Shows You Should Know. I'm joined by my partner and one of my best friends and a brilliant theater reader and actor, Liz Gutridge.
Say more nice things about me.
You guys might know Liz from TikTok. She has a really famous series on TikTok called Hot Girl Plays You Should Read, where she recommends plays that she would define as hot girl plays.
Yes.
Now, Lizzie, for the world,
Yes.
what is a hot girl play?
A hot girl play is just an energy, you know? If you get it, you get it.
You get it? If you get it, what a beautiful description.
What a beautiful description. No, it is completely non-exclusive to gender or actual conventional
Hotness,
beauty
yeah.
or anything like that. It's just an energy of
It's like a very
powerful,
powerful
Yeah.
female-driven plays
powerful feminine energy.
that are very contemporary
Yeah.
and very, cool.
and mostly just things I like because the world is about me.
Here's the thing. You are kind of the person in the world who has coined the phrase hot girl
I
plays.
know I should make t-shirts.
I know you totally should make t-shirts. But because Liz has such a different perspective, and being my partner, we talk about theater every day, all day long. But she has a completely different perspective when it comes to plays. I thought it would be awesome to bring her in on a couple episodes and to do a joint Shows You Should Know, what I'm calling the Hot Girls Shows You Should Know. I'm doing
It goes wild.
It's going wild.
They're going wild, and I'm going wild, and everybody's going wild.
So this is just Shows You Should Know. We're going to recommend 3 plays to you, but I wanted to bring Liz in here to give a couple Shows You Should Know from her perspective, and I'm going to do my best to stay in the genre of hot girl plays as well.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay. Do you want to start?
I will start.
Okay, give me your first one.
Okay, so obviously we love dramatists in this house, but I immediately departed from the theme of today. So I'm going to start with a play from New Play Exchange. If you don't know what New Play Exchange is, I know it's a little indie, it's a little underground. If you don't know New Play Exchange, it's a website where you pay like $13 a year to get like a bajillion.
New Play Exchange is the best.
It's the best. You
It's
get a
awesome.
bajillion plays. Anyone.
A lot
it's
of
like,
really young green playwrights are on there.
Yeah, it's like Instagram and TikTok, but for playwrights, for nerds.
Wait,
who
that's
love to
so
read
good.
plays.
It is like kind of the Instagram and TikTok, but for plays.
I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just happened to stumble upon this really, really amazing play that I have been absolutely obsessed with, as everyone I know has been forced to read it. It is called Joan of Arc in a Supermarket in California by Chloe Xtina. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name.
Chloe
Xtina.
Xtina.
It's literally spelled X and then the name
Tina.
Tina.
Yeah.
It is
It's
just
so
such
good.
a wonderful play.
It just premiered off Broadway, right?
It did at the Tank.
Nice.
So something special about this play is that it is actually set in a supermarket, and it should always be set in a supermarket. So it's a little hard to produce.
It's really brilliantly written.
Yeah, but it's so well written.
Give
It's
us
about
like a brief overview of the summary, like
Yeah.
the plot sum.
Absolutely. It's about I want to say like 4 women, young women in their high school years and beyond. And they work in a supermarket in the middle of California in the middle of a heat wave, and they're just figuring out life as young women. And suddenly an older woman comes in who used to work at the supermarket and is like, I have a prophecy. These women are like, what? This woman's crazy.
Yeah, it's one of
amazing.
those plays that like works really well in realism and absurdism.
Yeah, there's a lot of wild moments, and it's amazing.
I feel like if someone's teaching a theater class and has been like reading, like giving their kids like Neil Simon and Chekhov all semester, they could throw them this play and be like, this is gonna mess with your brain.
Yeah, if you were like me in school and you were like, "Ugh, I'm so tired of listening to boring old white men," which they write good plays and they have their time, but this is gonna turn
cool.
theater on your booty. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just such an amazing play. I recommend it. I won't talk about it too much because I think that there are a lot of really, really good moments that just had my jaw on the floor that I was like, oh, but I would kill to see this play. I would kill to be in this play.
I wish we got to see it off Broadway.
I want everyone to produce it. Chloe is such a talented writer, and I geek out about this play more than any play I've ever read.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Good one. Okay,
Yoo-hoo.
sweet. What's it called again? It's
Joan of Arc in a Supermarket in California.
by Chloe X Tina.
By Chloe X
You can
Tina.
catch it on New Play Exchange. Okay, the play I wanted to talk about, and I think this is a hot girl play. Mallory Avedon, she wrote a play called Queer Spawn.
I love her. She writes.
It's,
She also wrote Mary Kate Olsen is in
Mary
Love.
Kate Olsen is in Love.
If you need monologues,
Dude,
not to blow up my
such
spot.
good monologues in
Yeah.
Mary Kate Olsen is in Love.
Good ones.
But Queer Spawn tells the story of the kid, that's the only name, a 14-year-old starting in high school, and they have, he has two moms. And it's just a hyper absurdist, while still playing in realism, take on like the bullying and the trauma this kid goes through by being a like quote unquote queer spawn, like a spawn of like two parents of the same gender. It is a brilliant, hilarious, heartbreaking play, and it does tell the story of a boy, of like the kid. It also looks into female relationships and what it's like to grow up with two moms. And Mallory Avedon is just such a brilliant writer, and she does so well with keeping you in realism, kind of like Joan of Arc, but I feel like Joan of Arc goes way further with it.
Oh, it's crazy. I love it.
Keeping you in realism while playing with absurd pieces. So this is a really good version of that. Queer Spawn is just like, it's one of my favorite plays I've read in like a little while, and I truly love it so much. Dan Savage shows up, Dr. McSteamy shows up
As
from
characters?
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah,
I haven't read this. I'm a bad person.
it's crazy. It's so good.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the kid who's like constantly getting bullied and like traumatized, is like is like fantasizing about like people in his life to help him, and like
I guess
Grey's
I would pick
Anatomy characters
McSteamy too. Who would be
Yeah.
the person that you would pick? Actually, I do Cher probably.
I would do
Cher.
Annie Baker.
Yeah, you probably.
But that's
would.
my play. Queer Spawn, Mallory Avedon. I think it's a hot girl play, and I love Mallory Avedon so much.
Once again, it's not gender exclusive. You know what I mean? Like that was. I would say you get an A+ for today's hot girl pick.
Thank you so much.
Good
All right,
job, Justin.
close us out. Give me our last one.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna round it out with some absolutely heartbreaking, awful writing that will crush your soul and throw your dreams into the trash. Hallie Pfeiffer, my girl.
Hallie Pfeiffer destroys me.
Every play I've ever read by her has really truly ruined my life in the best way. I
Which
love
one are we
her.
talking about?
Today I'm talking about how to make friends and kill them. Obviously I picked this up because it says the scary words in the title, and I loved it.
This is the first Hallie Pfeiffer play you ever gave me.
This was the first play I ever bought. I love it so much. It's about these three women, Sam, Ada, and Dory, and it's about them from age like 10 to complete adulthood and how messed up their lives are. And it does the same thing as Queer Spawn, and it explores female relationships, female friendships, female competition. It is just...
It's brilliant.
brutal.
Hallie
It's so
Pfeiffer,
good.
also all of her stuff is brutal. Pain of My Belligerents. I'm Gonna Pray For You So Hard is my favorite play that she's ever written. Even like if you're looking for a good Chekhov adaptation, Moscow. All of them are so good. But how to make friends and kill them is one of my favorite like 3-person female plays.
And there are some good monologues in it too if you're looking for it, because I'm always blowing up my own spot.
Yeah.
It's just her plays really truly, like, they are so real, but like you're like, oh my god, I can't believe a person said this for real to another person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
It's so good. It really,
so good.
it really is wonderful. Hallie Pfeiffer's brilliant.
She's amazing.
Oh, we love Hallie Pfeiffer in this house.
Hot girl playwright.
Dude, thank you for coming on the show.
Dude, thanks for having me. This was so much fun. I love
No,
talking
of
about
course.
theater.
We're gonna have Liz back on in probably a couple episodes.
Whoop, whoop.
We love having her on. Maybe we'll have you back on for the Christmas episode later on in the season too. Maybe.
I'll have my people call your people.
Anything you want to plug? What's your TikTok? Do you remember?
My TikTok is Liz Zizzle. It's a nickname that my middle school language teacher gave to me. Shout out Mr. A.
But if they just look up Liz Gutridge on TikTok,
You can
they'll
look up
find
Liz Gutridge or Liz 2 Z's, Izzle 3 Z's. That's me.
you. Seriously, follow her. Other than being her partner and being her best friend, her content is so dope. And if you like my theater content that I make on TikTok, you're gonna love hers, especially if you're like a teacher of a lot of young women, which we know that is like abundant in high school theater programs. Truly, like, what a great thing to get young women knowing of, like knowing that this type of theater is out there in the world. And
it changed my life.
I think if you call me the like theater librarian of TikTok, you need to call Liz the indie feminist cool theater librarian of TikTok.
I'm more than a librarian.
You're the sommelier of
that's cooler. I like that.
Yeah, you're the sommelier of cool feminist theater.
We'll keep spitballing cool jobs for me. Everyone feel free to just tell me what cool jobs it is, and that's me.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We'll see you again soon.
Me.
And KJ, let's get to the next segment. Let's kick it away.
Go KJ.
Theater in a minute.
That is right. It's time for Theater in a Minute, where I explain something from theater past, present, or future as quickly as my brain will let me. Today's topic is maybe the most important topic I will ever speak about, because it's my role model and my favorite playwright in the world. It's Annie freaking Baker. So KJ, let's get to it. Start the clock in 3, 2, 1. Annie Baker is perfect. That's the end. I'm just kidding. Annie Baker is a renowned American playwright who has made significant contributions to contemporary theater. Annie Baker was born on April 9th, 1981. I'm not proud that I knew that without looking it up. In Cambridge, Massachusetts. She attended high school at Cambridge School of Weston. I knew that also. And she studied playwriting at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts. I knew that also. This is one of the only ones I didn't have to do any research for. Her breakthrough play was Circle Mirror Transformation, which premiered in 2009 at the Playwright Horizons in New York City. This was a part of a four-play collection called the Vermont Plays, which are the first 4 plays that she ever wrote, set in a fictional town of Shirley, Vermont, which is based on her hometown of Amherst, Massachusetts. Again, things I did not have to look up. I just am obsessed with Annie Baker. Where she really, really blew up, though, was in 2014 when Annie Baker received the Pulitzer Prize for Drama for her play, The Flick. It's beautiful. This award further solidified her reputation as a leading playwright in the space, right? People know Annie Baker, though, for her signature style. Baker is known for a distinct writing style that often features like hyper-realism through silence, intimate dialogue, attention to detail, and a focus on everyday lives. She lives in the mundane. It's beautiful. Her work often explores themes of human connection, isolation, and the search for meaning in the modern world. Oh, it's so good. Other notable works that I haven't talked about yet are The Aliens, John, Body Awareness, The Antipodes. I also want to say her adaptation of Uncle Vanya is brilliant, and I love it so freaking much. She's won so many awards also, including like a ton of Obie Awards and a MacArthur Genius Grant. She's a genius, a literal genius. She's perfect. She's amazing. And she's recently, in August of 2023, had her play Infinite Life come out at the Atlantic Theater Company. And yes, I saw it. And yes, I bought tickets the day they came out. And yes, it was brilliant. And you need to go watch it or read it if you have the chance. Annie Baker is literally just absolutely perfect, a brilliant playwright, and is the best hyper-realistic playwright living today. I love Annie Baker, and if you love hyper-realism, you're going to love her too. So make sure you check out anything Annie Baker has ever written. That's a very, very nerdy and very love-filled Theater in a Minute. Boom. Go read Annie Baker. I'll catch you in the next segment.
Have you subscribed to Broadway Book Club? Click the link in the show notes to see how you can get your favorite plays straight to your door. Subscribe annually to get new themes each quarter, or choose from our specialty curated collections. What are you waiting for? Head to the show notes for more information on Broadway Book Club.
All right, everybody, it's time for one of my favorite rotating segments, Regional Theater Roundup, where I talk about a regional theater that you might not have heard of, you might have, but hopefully you can visit. And if you are in Minnesota, you have for sure heard of this theater before, but I wanted to talk about it. We're talking about the Guthrie Theater, or I call it the Goo. I don't think anyone else calls it that, but I do. So leave me alone. It was founded in 1963. It was created by Sir Tyrone Guthrie. That's right, Sir Tyrone Guthrie. Also, fun fact of the day, it won the 1982 Regional Theater Tony Award, but whatever. So Sir Tyrone Guthrie, right, he publishes this like small thing in the New York Times looking for communities that want a resident theater, right? And out of the 7 cities that responded to this, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, were the only ones that showed, like, he called it, showed not only interest but eagerness for the project. Someone really behind that was Frank Whitting, the director of the University of Minnesota Theater, who introduced the Guthrie to, like, the arts community of the Twin Cities. With Frank and with Sir Tyrone Guthrie and with the city behind them, they were able to raise over $2 million to build a theater in 1963, opening a production of Hamlet in May of that year. It included a lot of actors from the University of Minnesota, as well as actors that Tyrone brought from New York to be the first, like, resident acting company there. And Tyrone Guthrie served as the artistic director from 66 to 69. They did a bunch of shows. They did Henry V, St. Joan, the Caucasian Chalk Circle, Three Sisters, a bunch of shows in their, like, opening seasons, and it just blew up. They did a ton of amazing stuff. The Guthrie has been known for so many really, really cool, awesome, notable productions. I do also want to say it is, like, gorgeous. It is like one of, like, the prettiest places I've ever been. It's just, oh gosh, it's just such a pretty theater. And so many cool plays started there. Lynn Nottage has put up a lot of work there. Clyde's started there, the infamous Clyde's. Just last season, Susan Laurie Park's new play, Sally and Tom, that started at the Guthrie. So many cool things. I know Keena Gwynn, the person who wrote She Kills Monsters, they've done a ton of stuff there. Just a ton of really, really cool productions start at the Guthrie. The Guthrie is one of the most, like, beautiful, big, fancy, nice theaters I've ever been to. They have their infamous Christmas Carol that happens every year. They always do a Shakespeare show. They always do some fun musical. This year they're doing Little Shop of Horrors, which is so exciting, so fun. They're also doing one of my favorite reads in the last, like, couple months, English by Sanaz Tusi, the 2023 Pulitzer Prize winner for drama. They're doing that, and it's it's just so exciting. The Guthrie is a beautiful theater. I got to see Sweat there last year, or maybe 2 years ago, but I saw Sweat there a couple seasons ago by Lynn Nottage, and they're like, it's like this beautiful, they have a couple theaters, but I went into this room that was like this beautiful red, it was just gorgeous. If you want to experience a beautiful building that is cultivating brilliant art every day, check out the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm going to stop gushing, but seriously, what I would give to have grown up in Minnesota and been a theater nerd from young age, because, dude, you can see so many cool shows at the Guthrie. It just seems awesome. Go check it out. Also, I really like their gift shop, but that's a me thing. That has nothing to do with you. That's just, I bought a really cool Clyde's hat. And that's our episode. Thank you so much for listening to The Scene podcast. I have to thank the Scene team. The Scene team? The Scene. That doesn't work. I have to thank the team over at The Scene who makes the newsletter. Thank you guys so much for reaching out and having us make this podcast for you, because we are loving doing it. I got to thank KJ, the other part of the podcast team. I would not be able to make this podcast without KJ, so thank you so much to KJ. And all of you guys for listening. We are so proud of what we've been doing, and we cannot wait to make even more content for you. We hope you are enjoying it and you're loving it, and it's making your commute a little bit more nerdy about theater, because that's my life. And if I could force 15 minutes of your day to be as nerdy of theater as the way I think on a constant basis, then I'm doing my job, baby. But I'm going to end this episode the way I end every episode, by saying the words we hear at the end of every student scene. And scene. We'll see you guys next time.
The Scene podcast is made possible by our host Justin Borak, our producer and editor KJ Lampar, and our executive producer Zach Dooley.
Special thanks to Liz Gutridge, Melissa Klein, and Zoe Dick for their special contributions to this episode. Don't forget to follow the show wherever you get your podcasts to stay up to date with our latest theater antics. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you again next time.